Hello, my name is Nolusindiso. I'm from South Africa. I'm currently based in Shanghai, China, and I work as a kindergarten teacher. On Wednesday, August 23rd, during a disagreement, the HR manager at my job, a guy, punched me on my face. After he punched me and I was screaming, trying to get out of his office, he pushed me down on the couch, telling me that I needed to sit down. I screamed and I was trying to get my phone so I can take pictures and videos of what was happening. Instead, he grabbed my phone and said he didn't have my phone anymore. I don't know how I got out of the office, but somehow I got out, and I was running in the passage of this kindergarten trying to get help. There were various women there. All of them just watched and did nothing. I managed to run to the stairs, but by the time I got to the stairs, he was already there, and he was preventing me from going past him. I was screaming, but he was pulling me, preventing me from leaving. I don't know what came to my head, but I thought about a different exit, and I ran towards the different exit, but he was chasing me. And during the time that he was chasing me, he was singing a song, humming a song, as though to distract me in case so that I can fall and he can catch me. I managed to get out of the building, and there was another lady outside the building shouting for the securities officers to close the gate so I wouldn't get out. But what happened is the security officer made a mistake. Instead of closing the gate, he opened the gate, and then I ran, managing to get out. By the time I got out, I had no shoes on, no socks on. They had taken my phone. I had no bag on. It was just me and nothing on my hands. I didn't know what to do, so I started walking on the streets, and I came across a young Chinese lady. Asked her if she speak English, and she said yes. I asked her to call the cops. She called the cops arrived, and we went back to the kindergarten. When we arrived at the kindergarten, they had gathered everything that belonged to me in a table, telling me that the reason why they were preventing me from leaving is because they wanted me to calm down so they can call the cops to resolve the issue, despite the fact that I wasn't feeling safe, and that is why I wanted to run away. Then the guy who had punched me told the cops that he did not punch me, that I hit my eye on the couch. I asked them to release the CCTV footage of the building while I was running, and they said they don't have it. We went to the police station. At the police station, the vice principal who saw everything happen said that she didn't see anything, and that when this guy might have hit me, she was on the phone, so she didn't see anything. When I arrived there, the cops basically told me that my visa is expiring next week and I do not have proof that this guy has hit me, and therefore I needed to settle. Feeling like I didn't have a choice, I ended up settling for compensation. I'm making this video because there are so many of us out here who are suffering under the hands of our employers, who continue to disobey the law and treat us very poorly. And I'm also making this video because I feel very powerless in this situation. They told me that if I talk to anybody or go to the media about the situation, then they would sue me and I would have to go to jail or get deported. They also threatened to put me on some teachers' blacklist in China so that I would never get a job in China. They also refused to give me any documents that would allow me to work anywhere else in China during this moment. But I'm not okay with just keeping quiet and pretending like this is okay and nothing happened. And I hope if you're seeing this video, you pass it to as many people as possible so that people know that this happens to me.
This was very hard to listen to and watch, but I'm grateful for her coming forward and sharing her story, because this is not uncommon for women who travel abroad, and especially, you know, Black women. I know for a while everybody was talking about the passport bros, and there was all this emphasis on Black men grabbing their passports and going abroad to find love or better opportunities, but in reality Black women have been exercising and using their passport for quite some time, for decades. And even today, they generally have more passports and tend to travel more than men. In Western countries, or in countries that are a lot more liberal, such as the USA, and in her case, South Africa. South Africa, to my understanding, is one of the more liberal countries in the continent of Africa. In more liberal places like that, there might be a certain level of freedom that you can enjoy as a woman, or there might be a level of agency that you can enjoy. And the reality is, especially as a Black woman, there's just going to be certain environments where you stand out. Truthfully, anytime you're in a country where you are the foreigner, anytime you're in the country where you are the outsider, whether you're Black or white or Asian or whatever, if you are the foreigner or if you are the outsider in that country, there's just going to be more risks. And so I am glad that she spoke about this, because while I won't pretend that everybody has horrible experiences going abroad, it is good. It is a good reminder that when women go abroad, especially when they're by themselves and they're single, there are risks associated with it. I mean, for example, you guys know I love to travel. I've had the opportunity to go to a couple of different countries. And, there's been some countries in particular where people told me beforehand, look, don't go out by yourself as a woman. Make sure you always have a chaperone. Make sure you're always in a group that has a man there. So, even in my opportunities to travel, I've recognized how I've had to behave differently, dress differently in certain ways. And alongside that is understanding work culture. For example, in her case in China, where she decided to work, you have a lot of controversy and you have the movement lying flat, which has been popular among younger generations and people in China who have resisted and do resist what they believe to be a toxic work culture. It's really important to have that mindset when we're going to the other cultures, trying to do the best that we can to understand their mindset, to understand their environment, and to acclimate as much as possible, so that we can hopefully mitigate situations, or hopefully eliminate these situations as much as possible. So again, shout out to her for sharing her story. I do know there were a few people who were questioning the validity of her story, and rightfully so. There's been a lot of women lately who have come out to be scammers. Look at the Brickgate scenario. So I understand there's a lot of missing pieces to her story. Obviously, it's hard to know what happened to where she got to this place, to where her HR person would even be tempted to physically assault her. God only knows. But go and check out her page. She did recently post some more evidence showing the audio of her and her, I think now ex-employer, in that interaction. So check her out. Also be sure to go and show some support, like her channel, subscribe to your channel if you can, and just show some love and support if this resonates with you. Understand that you can take all the precautions possible, and there are still some times when things just happen. Because the reality is, just not all countries treat people the same. And generally speaking, anytime you go into another environment and you are perceived as a foreigner for any particular reason, you're already going to be at a disadvantage. And so you're very much at the mercy of the culture and the people around you. So, the best you can do is try to get along with the community. The best you can probably do is to try to build healthy relationships with the community. But you have to understand at the end of the day that you are still ultimately a visitor and a foreigner in someone else's land. And that comes with some risks. But anyways, what do you think? Do you agree, do you disagree? Let me know. Leave your comments. Let me know, what's your experience? Have you ever lived abroad? What has your experience been like living abroad? Or have you ever lived in China? I'd love to hear from you. Leave your questions, comments, concerns in the comment section below. Thank you so much for listening if you've gotten this far, and we'll talk later. Bye.